Hello class, this is Miss Sarah again, and we are actually in the x-ray room here. If you ever go to a radiology school, they actually have a lab that's really similar to this one. And this right here is our x-ray tube, and this actually moves up and down like this. And our measuring tape that I was talking to you about earlier is located right here. So you just pull it down like this, and it'll show you how far you are between the tube and the image, which would be the cassette. Another thing I wanted to show you was the calipers, what they would use to measure a bigger body part, like maybe your knee or even your tummy. This is what they would use. And remember, if it was more than 10 centimeters, which is about this much, they would have to use a grid, okay? This right here is the grid holder. What would happen, for example, if we were using a small cassette? This would slide in the grid, and you would position it just like that, and it holds it in place so it doesn't move around. And you can also put in a bigger size cassette, about this big, and it'll also hold it. So this is a cool gadget. Now the filters, they come in different sizes and shapes. It would be made out of aluminum, and it will be placed on top of your foot or a different body part, like I stated earlier in the lesson. For example, let's say this was my foot and these right here were my toes. I would lay this filter right on top of my toes like this and put it right underneath the tube and take the x-ray so we can see the little bones in your toes. Now also the different screen types that we have. We have the screen speeds, is the 100, which is the one that's good for your foot or your hand, your finger, your toes. It's going to show really good detail. The 200, which is kind of in between. It doesn't show as much detail, but it does show some. And then 400, which is really fast. And this doesn't show great detail at all. I also want to show you a little bit about the table. There's little buttons here on the bottom of the floor that move the table around. So you may be laying on the table sometimes, maybe getting a picture of your hip or your tummy or your leg or your knee or even your foot. And it moves up and down, just like that. And there's a button here for the light. The technologist has to hit this to make sure that the light is shining on your hand, for example. And then there's little buttons here that make the light smaller or bigger. And we want it as small as we can get it, but still get your body part on there to show the great detail in the low patient dose. And then to adjust the source to image distance, they would use this vertical button. You either move it down or up. This tube actually also rolls side to side if they want to get a different angle. It also moves this way, to the right and also to the left. So if you were laying right here and your knee was that way, you would get this and move it right over here next to your knee and shine the light on it. Put the cassette right underneath here. Just make that light right around your knee. We put a pillow here to protect it when it's not in use. We also have little sponges like this. For example, if you were coming for a hand x-ray, you would put your fingers right around here like this, and this is actually a view called an oblique view. And this is just an example. This right here is actually a shield, and this will protect you. For example, if we were doing your chest and you were standing it up against that board over there, they would put this around you or behind you. Make sure that you're covered front and back. And this will actually make your patient radiation dose lower, which that's what we want. Every patient needs to have one of these on. Okay, next I'm actually going to show you some radiographs that we have taken, so I can show you the detail and the markings in the bones, and then also the density and the contrast that we explained earlier in the lesson, so you kind of get a visual of what it looks like on an x-ray. Okay?